Nice to meet you today, sir.
Nice to meet you as well.
So, first off, just thank you for meeting me today.
Yeah, of course. My management told me you wanted to follow me for a documentary, and I could only assume it's probably about my BFL career. How prolific that is.
Actually, unfortunately, I don't know what the BFL is, but I've heard a lot about this upcoming team called the Underdawgs. So I kind of just want to fish for more information about those people and team.
You've heard about the Underdogs. You haven't heard about BFL.
No,
I'm a
sir.
BFL MVP.
I don't know what that is, so okay. Congratulations.
Thanks, I guess.
So only one MVP. Lamar has two. So.
What do you want to know about this? What do you want to know about the Underdogs?
So I actually want to know everything about the Underdogs, but first off, I just wanted to know how everything got going and how it started.
Well, if you really want to know how it really got started, it started probably back towards the end of our Airballer season, which was our season before this, which me and pretty much my co-runner of this team, Jacob, we were playing for the Airballers and all that, and towards the end of the season, we were kind of a little bit disappointed in the results. We did go 0-9.
Oh, okay.
And we had talks. We had friends who weren't on the team that we felt like could make the team better. And we kind of got talking after the season, came home after that, and we immediately got making phone calls, figuring things out, and that's kind of how it all started, the simplistic version, and it probably had been in the works for about a year, and now we finally got our 10 guys that we think we're pretty confident in.
All right. Do you expect to do any better than you guys did with the Airballers?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of mixed expectations here. I definitely sure in the hell hope. I don't think it can get more toxic than the Airballers.
Mm-hmm.
I hope not, at least.
There was some locker room activity?
Yeah, there was some locker room cancers.
Okay.
There's some other things on the court, off the court, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully this time there's going to be great guys having fun out there. Win or lose, I know there's a lot of championship expectations out there. A lot of people ready to go out there and come and win. Obviously everybody would love to win, but I feel like I'm going to be kind of the guy who's just kind of being realistic. I know how this league kind of is, and I mean, unless we make it a major step up, I think it could be at least a rough start.
Okay, so what are your expectations?
Honestly, I think just I feel like bonds being made. I know there's a lot of different kind of people getting meshed in together. We have people who don't really know each other, who do know each other, and all this kind of stuff. Getting the games going and kind of just expanding and having honestly great time outside of work and all our real life responsibilities. I know there's people coming out from different demographics and all that stuff and what they have at home and all that stuff. And I mean, of course, I would love to win the championship, and that's the expectation of every team I come with. So obviously, I'm gonna hope for at least a win compared to my Airballers team.
Mm-hmm.
But always I want to win the championship. But at least I want one win.
Okay. So, as you said, some people on this team don't really know each other like last team.
Yeah.
So, do you think that team chemistry is going to affect you at the beginning of the season while you figure everything out?
So I think we have, I want to say, so we've got about 5 returning from the Airballers, I believe, and one who has been around the Airballers, star scorekeeper, kept scoreboard for us.
That's joining the
Yes,
team?
that is joining our team. So from the Airballers returning will be Jacob Price, myself, Mikey Collins, Jackson Powers, and Adam Bright. And then Xavier Stewart, who was keeping score for us during that season, is also coming in who have great chemistry. We have some other players, people I work with, and someone I've known since high school, senior year, come in and play. We definitely got a lot big. We have more size on this team now compared to the Airballers. It was sad to say, but I was probably one of the bigger guys. I was one of the bigger guys on the Airballers team, and I'm not that big compared to these guys in the league.
So you think being big and better rebound numbers will help you play better in these games?
For sure. I feel like a lot of the problem we had was, we weren't getting that. The only rebounds we're getting were really lucky bounces. We're not exactly. None of us really have much of high school experience playing, at least. I don't even know if anything really goes out of middle school.
But I did hear rumors. I don't know for sure that you do have an AAU player on the team.
We do. His nickname is Sharpshooter, so we are excited.
Devin Booker's on your team?
That is, it is not Devin Booker, sadly. I feel like that might have elevated our team, and they're probably going to miss the playoffs this season, so he would probably be available to play. I just don't think we couldn't fit him in the budget.
Understandable.
Yeah.
He probably couldn't afford it anyways. But do you think having people with at least some expertise on this team will help us?
Yeah, definitely. And I think this will help us pretty well. And I mean, like, back to your team chemistry problem or question. I don't know how much of I feel like a lot of people have chemistry with each other. It's just going to be as a whole and a unit. But I already know there's been talks between the teammates trying to figure out practices and trying to get that all going.
Okay, so are you already having more communication this season than last season, or did it
I definitely
just
feel
not work out with the Airballers?
I definitely feel like this season there's a lot more excitement.
Mm-hmm.
I think this has been the excitement throughout because I know like I said, it's been a year in the making between different teams and who would play for what. And same handful of three guys that are coming in to replace the original Underdogs team. They've been talking about it and been super excited about it, playing, and they've all played with each other. So now we're just kind of gonna. I think it's gonna be a bumpy road, but I definitely think there's a lot more communication compared to the Airballers. Where I think Airballers, I don't think anyone really touched the basketball besides that one game that week. So this time I think it's gonna be a whole different preparation.
Mm-hmm. So like you said, as you think communication will be better. Does that apply to on the court and defensive wise, trying to get our man set up if we want to do zone, or like offensively, who's getting the ball? Is it going to work that way as well, or is this communication more just off the court, you think?
I definitely think it'll be a lot easier on the court as well because I think we'll be a lot more comfortable. I think there's a lot of issues. There's some issues with people not wanting to really necessarily listen to their teammates on the Airballers team. And I mean, towards the end of the year, we were really only running 6 guys back there on the Airballers. So now
that can take a lot of some people.
Yeah, and especially with the losses we were taking, I think there's a lot of quit. But I think with this group of guys, I think we'll be able to fight a lot better. And we were kind of limited defensively on the Airballers of what we could really run. We have people who have more basketball knowledge itself, where we can probably expand. And we don't really we have a lot more big depth, like I've mentioned, where it's going to be easier to try to guard 1 through 5, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, and all that stuff like that, where you're guarding your position man to man, no really doing switches, and we can run zone as well.
Okay, so like I watched you guys play as the Airballers, and I just want to. This is my last question. I just want to figure out the biggest game deficit you guys lost to was probably like 80, 90 points. Do you think a game can be that bad again this season?
I would say honestly, our worst team loss realistically was 70 points. That 90-point loss, that wasn't our team.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, that team wasn't really us. And like I said, there was a lot of locker room.
And I heard Jacob Price didn't even play that game. So.
He didn't really get to play that game. We had our coach Seth Hudson. There's complications there with a player. Nothing on Seth himself. It wasn't Seth. But then that obviously threw us all off completely. A lot of people not really motivated to play that game. But that game, nothing like that will happen. We might get blown out a couple of games or whatever, but 90 points is not. We expect way better from ourselves, and we hold ourselves to a higher standard than that.
Okay, well, I obviously wish you the best of luck, and I will be watching you guys throughout the season and see how it progresses. But thank you for coming in today, and that's really all I have to talk about.
Yeah, no problem. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Absolutely.